This is Michael Falkner, and it's showtime at the September 13th, 2011 edition of the Weekly Podioplex, brought to you by the Chronic Rift. As always, let's kick off with the box office results, starting with number 10 and Spy Kids, All the Time in the World, down from 9th. At number 9 is Our Idiot Brother, slipping 2 from 7th. In 8th place is last week's 3rd, Apollo 18. In 7th is last week's number 4, Shark Night 3D. At 6th is Rise of the Planet of the Apes, moving down 1 spot from 5th. Speaking of 5th place, we find Columbiana, moving up from 6th with $3.9 million to bring the movie to $29.7 million. 4th place brings us last week's 2nd, The Debt, adding another $4.8 million to a $22 million total. In 3rd is new release Warrior, starting its run with $5.2 million, and coming in at 2nd is The Help, finally giving up that number 1 spot with $8.9 million. The $25 million movie now stands at $137 million. At number 1 is new release Contagion, dominating the box office with a $22.4 million debut. While we're on the topic of last week's performers, let's take a look at Creature, a wide release that appeared on the list after recording and premiered at 27th place over last weekend. I had the opportunity last Thursday to attend a free screening, and to be honest, it was worth every penny spent. The blurb on the box certainly captures the basics. In backcountry Louisiana, a group of friends unearth a terrible secret that unleashes a monster from the depths of the swamp. On that premise, Creature sets itself up as a love letter to the classic B movies of the 50s and 60s. There are no CGI effects here, gang. Each dismemberment and spurt of blood is Hollywood effects and makeup magic, and the monster is a guy in a rubber suit. The movie also showcases nearly every classic horror movie trope, from the group of horny teenagers stranded in the wilderness to copious amounts of graphic nudity and cheap scares. In fact, every lead actress takes off her shirt at some point in the film. That said, the failing of Creature is in its C-level script and plot. I don't expect much story out of a B-level monster flick, but this one is downright terrible. On top of the monster movie premise, the writers piled on plot points that got lost or forgotten, took twists and turns that made no sense at all, and telegraphed every move to the point that any feeling of suspense was lost. In fact, I found myself checking my watch quite a few times during the 92-minute runtime. Add that to a decent helping of stereotypes that make the backwoods hillbillies and our heroes, who are supposedly military vets, less interesting and more comical, and downright annoying. Creature's script feels like someone poured the contents of tvtropes.org onto the ream of paper and smeared the concoction around like a child's mud pie. The difference is that the kid's creation has significantly more substance and charm. I've seen a lot of crappy movies in my time. I even watched Sharktopus with a group of geeks at Dragon Con, which was survived by copious amounts of heckling. Where Sharktopus knew it was a B-movie and even riffed on that fact, Creature tries to take itself seriously. I doubt even Mystery Science Theater 3000 would touch this one with a 10-foot pole. Creature stars Mashad Brooks, Serena Swan, and Daniel Bernhardt, and is rated R. Let's shift gears and take a look at September 16th's new releases, starting with Drive, an action crime drama starring Ryan Gosling, Carey Mulligan, and Bryan Cranston.
If I drive for you, you get your money. I don't sit in while you're running it down. I don't carry a gun. I drive.
2,000 heists in this city.
Whose money do I have?
This driver's gotta go. Drive. Rated R. Starts September 16th.
A Hollywood stunt performer who moonlights as a wheelman discovers that a contract has been put on him after a heist gone wrong. Drive is rated R. Next on our slate is I Don't Know How She Does It, a comedy starring Sarah Jessica Parker, Pierce Brosnan, and Kelsey Grammer.
A recent study showed that women with young children don't sleep through the night. Researchers were at a loss to explain why. They could have asked me.
Taxi!
Instead of sleeping, I do the list. Number 1.
Take Emily to school. I am just so jealous. You get to look nice all day. We just frump around at the park.
Number 2. Keep my head above water at work.
Say, are you running a little late this morning?
I have 2 choices here. The man's excuse, bad traffic, down power lines, faulty carburetor, or mammogram.
Oh!
Number 3, spend more time with Richard.
You must be completely exhausted.
Not completely. Number 4, the kids. Kindergarten bake sale. Christmas lights. Birthday party.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how she does it. All those children.
I have 2.
So impressive.
You have 4.
Yeah, but 2 of mine are twins.
Jack Abelhammer in our New York office has sparked to a proposal, and he'd like to meet the author.
Oh, God!
you been there?
Long enough, but go ahead if there's anything else you need to adjust.
This could be a big step up. Gives your kids a chance to spend all that extra quality time they've been hoping for. With your nanny.
Did you take Ben to get his haircut?
Yeah.
Oh, that was his first haircut.
His first haircut. Missing everything.
Sorry.
Everything okay?
Yep. I just kept picturing little tiny bugs propelling out of my hair into his inbox. I love my work, although sometimes I wish I didn't love it so much.
You're allowed to miss your children.
I need somebody down there tonight.
We can't go on like this.
Yeah, quit, Kate. Don't you think about not having to worry about priorities all the time?
Don't know what we're capable of.
Me without that job isn't me, but also me without you and Ben and Emily is nothing.
We're just about to make the biggest mess out of our entire lives, and you're going to use sex to pretend everything's okay? Is that the plan?
Yes.
I like it.
I Don't Know How She Does It is a comedy centered on the life of Kate Reddy, a finance executive who is the breadwinner for her husband and 2 kids. I Don't Know How She Does It is currently not rated. Next up is Straw Dogs, a thriller starring James Marsden, Kate Bosworth, and Alexander Skarsgård.
Straw Dogs. This past spring, the Sumners moved to the quiet town of Blackwater.
Charlie. David Sumner.
3 months later,
What was that?
6 people were brutally murdered. They would claim it was self-defense.
Hello, 911.
On September 16th, find out
I will not allow violence against this house.
what really happened.
I want you to see what's coming.
Straw Dogs. Rated R.
LA screenwriter David Sumner relocates with his wife to her hometown in the Deep South. There, while tensions build between them, a brewing conflict with locals becomes a threat to them both. Straw Dogs is rated R. And last on our wide release slate is Lion King 3D, the updated edition of the animated Disney adventure from 1994 starring Matthew Broderick, Jeremy Irons, and James Earl Jones. Tricked into thinking he killed his father, a guilt-ridden lion cub flees into exile and abandons his identity as the future king. Lion King 3D is rated G. In limited release, we have Restless, a drama starring Mia Wasikowska, Henry Hopper, and Rio Kase. Restless is a story of a terminally ill teenage girl who falls for a boy who likes to attend funerals, and their encounters with the ghost of a Japanese kamikaze pilot from World War II. Restless is rated PG-13. Moving on to the September 13th new releases for DVD and Blu-ray, we start with Thor, an action-adventure starring Chris Hemsworth, Anthony Hopkins, and Natalie Portman. The powerful but arrogant warrior Thor is cast out of the fantastic realm of Asgard and sent to live amongst humans on Earth, where he soon becomes one of their finest defenders. Thor is rated PG-13. Next up is Mystery Science Theater 3000, Manos, The Hands of Fate, a comedy starring Joel Hodgson. The 2-disc Manos Special Edition includes both the original 1993 MST3K episode and the 1966 film minus the riffing, as well as a number of solid extras. Manos, The Hands of Fate stars Tom Naiman, John Reynolds, and Diane Mowry. A family gets lost on the road and stumbles upon a hidden underground devil-worshipping cult led by the fearsome master and his servant Torgo. Both Manos, The Hands of Fate and the MST3K riff are unrated.
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall. We built the pyramids, math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a Big Bang.
In TV on DVD, we start with Big Bang Theory Season 4, starring Johnny Galecki, Jim Parsons, Kaylee Cuoco, and Simon Helberg. This season, the Big Bang Gang's romantic universe expands. On the rebound from Penny, Leonard falls into the arms of Raj's sister Priya. Sheldon gets a girlfriend, or rather a friend who's a girl, Amy, a dour neurobiologist who declares herself besties with Penny. Howard and Bernadette heat up, and so do Raj and Bernadette, at least in Raj's Bollywood daydream. Next on the list is Glee Season 2, starring Corey Monteith, Leah Michele, Matthew Morrison, and Jane Lynch. Despite their loss at regionals, the kids in the new directions are more motivated than ever. And whether it's Will doing a sexy tango with substitute teacher Gwyneth Paltrow, Sue joining the Glee Club, or everyone catching Bieber fever, The excitement at William McKinley High School is keeping everyone on their toes. Next is Supernatural Season 6, starring Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. The prize? Ending the apocalypse. The price? Sam's life. Last season's horrific finale left Dean alone as Sam descended into hell. Now a different man, Dean vows to stop hunting and devote himself to building a family with Lisa and her son Ben. Then mysteriously, Sam reappears, drawing Dean back into the old life. But Sam's a different man too. He's returned without his soul. As the brothers struggle to reunite, they must also battle deadly supernatural forces. Demons, angels, vampires, shapeshifters, and a terrifying new foe called the Mother of All. If doctors are more your speed, we have 2 releases. Grey's Anatomy Season 7, starring Patrick Dempsey, Ellen Pompeo, and Sandra Oh. It's a year of new beginnings for the medical team at Seattle Grace Hospital as they slowly recover from the tragedy that hits too close to home. New relationships emerge and the strongest commitments are tested. From successes in the operating room to mistakes in the bedroom, and all the thrilling drama in between, the doctors find a way to survive as long as they lean on one another. In the same vein, we have Private Practice Season 4, starring Kate Walsh, Tim Daly, and Ty Diggs. The 4th season of Private Practice is about new beginnings, second chances, and sex. Lots of sex. Violet and Pete announce their impending marriage, which startles Cooper and Charlotte, who are engaged but have yet to set a date. Addison has started a relationship with Sam, but is keeping it under wraps lest it damage her friendship with Naomi. And psychiatrist Sheldon has become a series regular, along with neurosurgeon Amelia. The show also takes time away from the bedroom to address hot-button topics including gender reassignment surgery, autism, fertility issues, closeted gay husbands, and much, much more. From doctors to swords and shields, we have Spartacus, Gods of the Arena, starring John Hannah, Lucy Lawless, Dustin Clare, and Peter Mensah. The House of Batiatus has towered over the city of Capua for many years. Spartacus, Gods of the Arena will explore its deadly history before the arrival of Spartacus and the death he carried with him. Loyalties will be tested, lives shattered, and battles waged in this thrilling prequel to Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
As many intelligent people know, aliens are all around us. This is the story of 4 such explorers.
Next on our list is Third Rock from the Sun, both seasons 1 and 2, starring John Lithgow, Jane Curtin, and Kristen Johnson. 4 extraterrestrials suddenly materialize in the college town of Rutherford, Ohio. Disguised as humans, they dub themselves the Solomons. On the surface, Dick is a physics professor, and Tommy is his hormonally challenged 14-year-old son. In reality, Dick is the high commander, Tommy is a senior information officer, Sally is a lieutenant, and squinty-eyed Harry is a transmitter-receiver. In each season, the Solomons learn something new about the human condition, but do it in the irreverent tradition of My Favorite Martian and Mork and Mindy. From across the pond, we have Doctor Who, Day of the Daleks, starring John Pertwee, Nicholas Courtney, and Richard Franklin. On Earth in the 22nd century, Daleks have enslaved the planet, and humans live in fear of their masters. Meanwhile, back in the 20th century, a peace conference is urgently needed to prevent World War III. When reports reach unit of a ghost at Otterley House, the site for the conference, the Third Doctor and Joe decide to investigate. Danger is waiting for them there, including a trip 200 years into the future without the TARDIS. Next up is Sanctuary Season 3, starring Amanda Tapping, Robin Dunn, Ryan Robbins, and Agam Darshi. Dr. Helen Magnus is a beautiful and enigmatic scientist who seeks out all manner of monstrous creatures. Aided by forensic psychiatrist Dr. Will Zimmerman, tech expert Henry Foss, professional con artist Kate Freelander, and the mysterious yet unpredictable John Druitt, the Sanctuary team tracks down, studies, and protects the strange and often terrifying creatures that secretly populate our world. Reaching back in time a little bit, we have He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Season 2, starring John Irwin, Alan Oppenheimer, and Linda Gary. The most powerful man in the universe, He-Man, goes against the evil force of the Skeletor to save the planet Eternia and protect the secrets of Castle Grayskull. Also in the retro theme, we have That 70s Show, Seasons 1 and 2, starring Ashton Kutcher, Topher Grace, and Mila Kunis. Long before Ashton met Demi, or Topher got lost in traffic, the makers of Third Rock from the Sun stepped into the Wayback Machine and emerged with That 70s Show. flash back to a time when platform shoes and puka shells were all the rage in this hilarious retro sitcom. For Eric, Kelso, Jackie, Hyde, Donna, and Fez, a group of high school teens who spend most of their time hanging out in Eric's basement, life in the 70s isn't always so groovy. We'll wrap up the TV on DVD slate with Lego Star Wars, The Padawan Menace, coming out on the 16th, starring Anthony Daniels, Nika Futterman, and Tom Kane. It is a time of great upheaval as the Clone Wars rage across the galaxy. On this day, the biggest challenge to the Republic, and its newest heroes, will come in the most unlikely of forms. The Padawan Menace is a half-hour animated special featuring the characters of Star Wars in Lego form, and is exclusively available at Walmart. And last, we'll take a look at one of the big classics coming to Blu-ray, the Star Wars Saga, coming out on Friday the 16th. The releases are available in 3 flavors. The first is the 3-disc release of the prequel trilogy, comprised of The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. The second is a 3-disc release of the original trilogy, which contains A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. The last option is a 9-disc set that combines both trilogies with 3 discs of deleted scenes, material from the Lucasfilm archives, and various other extras. Now the downside for most people, these are not the unaltered original editions. Lucasfilm has cleaned up the negatives and digital prints for a true high-definition release, and several more scenes in the original trilogy have been altered beyond the changes in 1997 and 2004. In fact, let's carry on that discussion in the quick flicks. One of the more significant alterations for the Star Wars Blu-rays is the addition of Darth Vader shouting "No" as the Emperor tries to kill Luke in Return of the Jedi. Previously, the Dark Lord of the Sith silently made the pivotal decision at the saga's climax, choosing between a life of darkness or redemption and death. Some fans are so mad about the latest changes that they're calling for a boycott of the Blu-ray release. There certainly is a lot of controversy in the Star Wars fan community, from those up in arms to those who don't care. Some believe that since Lucas still owns the copyright to the films, he's free to do with them as he pleases, while others believe that they are public property because they're part of the modern mythology. Some even cite Lucas's own 1988 congressional testimony on behalf of film preservation, in which he said, quote, "People who alter or destroy works of art and our cultural heritage for profit or as an exercise of power are barbarians, and if the law of the United States continues to condone this behavior, history will surely classify us as a barbaric society." No matter which side you rest on, given the number of standing pre-orders and the amount of midnight parties and exclusive giveaways at various stores, the Star Wars Blu-rays are likely to be a success. Moving on to something a little lighter, Daniel Craig and the James Bond 23 crew would like to film a big train stunt in India this February, but 007 has hit a small stumbling block with the Indian Railways Company. As the script was written, Bond would have been jumping a motorcycle onto the roof of a moving train, which would then scatter a group of people riding up there illegally. The problem is that Indian Railways doesn't want to glamorize or encourage rooftop riders, which is currently a problem in the country. Director Sam Mendes has already agreed to film the scene without the riders. And last, we have some news about The Doctor. The BBC has just announced that Doctor Who, the 6th series Part 2, will be released in a 2-disc set available on both DVD and Blu-ray on November 8th. If you don't already have the first half, you'll have to wait about 2 weeks to get the complete 6th series, available on November 22nd. No details have been released on the extras or the bonus features. If you want to discuss anything you heard on this week's edition, why not take a moment to get in touch? You can surf on over to chronicriff.com and leave a note in the forums. You can also leave a voicemail at 888-866-9010, or you can write to John at chronicriff.com. Why not also check us out on Tumblr, tweet us on Twitter, or check into the Rift on GetGlue. You can also find the Weekly Podioplex and the Chronic Rift on Facebook. Hey, we're all over the internet. If you decide to pick up any of this week's new releases, why not do it through our Amazon store? You get the newest entertainment at Amazon's low prices and high-quality service, and each purchase you make through the store supports the Chronic Rift. Look for the link in our show notes. The Weekly Podioplex is a collaboration of Critic Criticality and Lucky Shot Productions. This is Michael Falkner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you at the theater.
Oh, That's great, Joel. Very amusing. Oh, by the way, did you see Andy Capp today? Very funny. He came home after being drunk all night and cheating on Flo.
Where is our pizza? It's been 2 hours since you ordered.
Well, I called Togo's Pizza. They were busy, so I ended up having to order from Torgo's Pizza.
Come in.
Large sausage and mushroom thin crust.
That's us.
The total is $14.50, please.
Here.
Do you have anything smaller? I only carry $20 in change.
That's all I have.
I have a 20.
Well, why didn't you give him the 20?
I was saving it, you know.
Would you please give him the 20?
No. Thank you. I'll get your change.
I'll keep it.
Thank you very much, sir. Let me just get your complimentary crazy bread.
No,
that's okay.
That's quite all right. Hey, what about our pop?
I left it in the car. I'll be right back.
Oh. Until next time, Joel. Push the button, Frank.
Say, you know, it's been 2 hours, but it's still pretty warm.
They always do that.
That's a wrap.